Money Moment on 4, sponsored by Gregory Ricks and Associates, the Total Wealth Authority.
Well, in this morning's Money Moment, I know I keep telling you not to touch those credit cards while making gift purchases for friends and family this holiday season. I also know that some of you will not listen to me, so I want to talk about what happens and what you need to know if you do fall behind on credit card payments and your debt is sent to collections. So when that happens, the friendly reminders from your credit card issuer are replaced with those persistent calls and letters from third-party collectors. Now this, of course, can be stressful, but I also want you to remember there are ways that you can regain control of the situation. The first step is to educate yourself about the process. Credit card debt is considered in collections when your original creditor has either sold the debt to a collections agency or hired one to recover the unpaid balance. Now, this usually happens after 90 to 180 days of missed payments. So I get you want to just hit ignore on those calls because you're stressed. However, that is not the right way to handle it. You could be sued. So ignoring not the right thing to do. You could be sued for unpaid debt, or ignoring that issue can only hurt your credit score further. So that is a big issue here. Also, as I mentioned, it can hurt your credit score for a long time. We're talking 7 years. That could significantly impact your ability to obtain credit. Now, the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act is a federally designed law to protect consumers from abusive, unfair, or deceptive practices by debt collectors. So I want you to know about that. Understanding your rights under this law is essential when dealing with collection agencies. So for example, debt collectors, they're prohibited from calling you from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and using threatening language or even contacting you at work if you've ever told them that you don't want them to. Additionally, they're required to provide written validation of the debt within 5 days of contacting you. If a debt collector violates your rights, you have the power to report them to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So those are things that I want you to pay attention to. And then know the power that you do have. When your debt goes to collection, it doesn't mean that you've lost all control. In fact, collection agencies often buy debt for a fraction of the original value. That means they'll be willing to accept less than the full amount owed. So you can negotiate with those collectors. And like I said, it can often lead to a lower lump sum. So, that opens the door for you to be able to bring down that amount to something that you can afford. But negotiating with your creditor, it can be done on your own, or you can also get that help from a company who specifies in doing this type of work. Before engaging in any negotiations, though, it's important to look at your financial plan as a whole, determine what you can realistically afford to pay so that you don't agree to payments that you can't keep up with. Understanding your rights, being proactive about negotiations, and avoiding the temptation to ignore the situation, all of those things combined, you can take control and work towards resolving the debt. Getting in debt shouldn't be something that defines your financial future. You can rebuild from that. That's your Money Moment on this Thursday.